And we're joined now by Congressman Collins, who is in that race for Senate. So, boy, this is something because, as I said, it obviously could impact the balance of power, but your race has a lot of complications to it. What's the strategy here down the stretch run in terms of at least getting yourself in the top two, right?
Exactly. What we have here, Collins, is simply the governor chose to have this as a special election. We should have had this in a primary. It would have been the traditional Republican against Democrat. But instead, they tried to stretch it out since it was an appointment to give Senator Leffler a little more time in office and a chance to get known. So but it has complicated the situation because we will go to a top two because in Georgia you have to have 50+1. So it means in November and December, we could be having a Senate race down here, I think, between myself and Reverend Warnock that will it could possibly determine the balance of power in the Senate.
Right now, it seems like the battle's between you and Senator Loeffler to some degree to see who is more conservative. The reason we're here in Georgia, though, it's interesting, is because everybody tells us this is now a new type of state. It's a swing state. The area where we are in the Atlanta suburbs is up for grabs, right? And you guys are really battling it out, and that last debate was a good example of it about, again, who's more conservative. What does that do in terms of setting up a general election matchup with the Democrat down the line?
Well, it's just like it is in any Republican primary because you can't think of this in terms of just it's been this general election. It's not a general election. It's a primary for both the Republicans and the Democrats. And for Reverend Warnock's fortune, he's not had to fight against a Democrat per se that's been pushing him. But what we have in our primary is really against myself and Senator Leffler. We've been talking about our values to get into the runoff. But I'm also the real issue here is not a matter of who's conservative. I'm that person, and we've been proving the other is not. But the other issue is who's actually worked for Georgia. Things like criminal justice reform, things like mental health issues, opioid abuse. These are things that appeal to all voters in Georgia, but especially our suburban voters. And we've been actually the one that's been doing that. The First Step Act, which the president actually has been running on, we were the author of that bill. So we're looking ahead not only this Republican issue, just like we'd always do in a regular primary, but also running how we will run in a general election as well.
Yeah, the polls, as you know, are so close in the state of the presidential election. The thinking is maybe President Trump has the upper hand because it usually is a red-leaning state, but it's much closer than it's been in the past. So what's the impact there? How has that had an impact on how you guys are running your race, and how do you expect the last couple of weeks to go?
Well, the last couple of weeks, we're going to be out on the road, as we have been for the last little bit, talking to voters, seeing those. We do the traditional campaign things of TV and mail, but we're actually going to be out, and we have been for the last, we're in 5 days into a 17-day tour. But the president, one of the things that people forget about Georgia, they've always thought Georgia was this massively red state, such as Mississippi or Oklahoma. But remember, Colin, you need to know this about this state. The last few elections have been about a 4 to 6 point race. I mean, from 52, 48, 51, 49. The most that we've ever had in Georgia elected was close, but it's also I think a very edit-based conservative state. And that's why we're winning these elections. Why I believe that in these last 2 weeks, you're going to see that base come out. And I do believe that the president's going to win Georgia. David Perdue's going to win his seat. And I think it's going to be myself and Raphael Warnock in the runoff for this other Senate seat.
Which does bring up a larger question, though, Congressman, in fairness, because your district, the district you represent in the Congress, is among the most conservative, correct me if I'm wrong, in the country. So doesn't that make it more difficult, and maybe very difficult, in this environment to get elected statewide in Georgia, given how the state might be changing?
No, it makes it easier because the Republican voters in Norfolk, Georgia know who I am, and our voters are turning back out because they want to make sure that Georgia stays conservative. But remember, we're not a candidate running as the Republican. I'm one who actually has, things that we've actually run on, like First Step Act, when we're talking about intellectual property, when we've done those kind of things. As a pastor and a military chaplain, I understand the issues of all of our voters in Georgia, and we have those issues and when we find commonality. And it's about listening and actually responding to the needs of the constituents, in which we have been here in Georgia for many years.
All right, we'll watch it, Congressman, as you said earlier, not just up until November 3rd, but well beyond, and especially if it comes down to you and somebody else, or however it figures itself out, because it could decide how the Senate is balanced. Congressman Doug Collins, thank you, running for Senate here in the state of Georgia.